All right, and we're live. So, happy New Year, everybody. We're in 2024 now. Time being somewhat of an elusive concept anyway. But today's guest is Annie DeLucci. Am I pronouncing your last name
It's
correctly?
actually DeLucchi.
DeLucchi. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
CHI in Italian has a hard C. If there was no H, it would be chi.
Okay, DeLucci.
Hmm.
And I met Annie, gosh, I don't even know, like a year or so ago.
At least or
Yeah,
more.
I think so too. And I think we met through Michael's course, the Ashland
Yes,
course somehow.
yes, that's
Yeah,
our connection, our original connection, where many
okay.
people meet.
Right. I know that's what I'm
Mhm.
finding out. It's
It's a
a
small
wonderful
world
community.
for all.
Yes.
And but
And
it's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Yeah.
100%. Yes, it is. And you're on the West Coast too, right?
I'm in Seattle.
That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah,
I'm
we are
in yes,
neighbors.
yes,
Okay.
neighbors. I'm in Capitol Hill in
Okay.
Seattle. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so we're in the same weather then today. It's like
Yes.
a true winter day to me. Yes, I love I like the rainy season too. So that's I wouldn't live here if I didn't. So
No, and there's a time, as we know, for every season, and it is our time to kind of this is the time to kind of go inward and hibernate, and this is the perfect weather to do that. Whether reading a book that you haven't read in a while, or watching a great movie, or just being.
yeah, yeah. I couldn't imagine living somewhere that didn't have seasons. And not every season is going to look like it does here with us. Sometimes it's wet and dry, but I really like seasons. It helps me shift, like the internal clock as well. Yes.
I would agree, and I also think that it helps us to be more connected to the earth when we can observe changes that are happening around us.
Yes, yes. I can't. So a girlfriend sent me a quote the other day, and it was something about the birds. Give me just a moment. How did it go?
Yeah.
It said the birds still remember what we have forgotten. That the world is meant to be celebrated. Terry Tempest Williams. Anyways, yeah, we've our disconnect with nature. I feel that myself sometimes. And then the best, obviously, medicine is just going back into it.
Taking
Yeah.
a walk, breathing, going out and breathing, especially with big trees around, is
Yeah.
especially. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're familiar, but Volunteer Park is not too far from here, and that has many beautiful big trees in it. That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite spots to go and
Yeah.
walk the
Wow.
dog and spend a
Yeah.
little time.
Yeah. That would be like would have been like a treat for me in the sense that because I lived in Kirkland for about a decade, and I definitely made it to Seattle weekly for work, but I was in off of First or Third, just wait like
Hmm.
downtown.
Hmm.
So for me to like go to Volunteer Park, it would have been like a weekend deal. I would have
Hmm.
planned for hours that day. So yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I love that our paths have they overarch into one another's lives.
And the more we talk, the more connections we'll find out. That's what I've certainly come to know.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
And people that we have in common, and but basically the world is a much smaller place than we actually think it is.
Amen to
Hmm.
that. 100%. There was a class that I took years ago, and it was something. The intention around the exercise was to see how similar we are versus
Hmm.
dissimilar. But it was like, children of divorce. There were like essentially like 10 things that he could pick any four of us, and we would at least have one of these things in common from a life experience perspective. And so, regardless of race or ethnicity
Hmm.
or culture, we still have feelings, yeah, that are similar.
That remind what you just said reminds me of dreams too, how dreams work for people,
Yeah,
which is how we originally got connected.
yeah,
That across the the earth, everyone pretty much dreams the same, and the symbols are the same, and which is one way I got interested, or more involved in this world that we're in,
yeah,
and the spiritual pursuits, and finding out more about life's purpose. I did want to give you a shout out for your
Oh, okay.
New Year's Eve message, which
Yeah.
I was able to listen to on my way up to Orcas Island for
Well,
a
okay.
visit.
Yeah.
And just if you haven't seen it, I'm putting a plug in. Go back to her YouTube channel; it's there,
Yeah.
and it was so meaningful and helpful, and all about manifesting and the energy of our thoughts. And so I
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to tell you that before we
Yeah.
started, but
Yeah.
really, it was a great message. So thank you
I love that,
for
Annie. Thank
that,
you
and
so
I'll
much.
be telling other people about it
Yeah.
too.
I thank you so much. I'm so thankful that our souls met in this lifetime. Well, I know we're going to get another reading, but a couple more questions are just coming
Yeah.
through.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Did you
Please.
start your spiritual? When did this dimension of yourself start uh, connecting with you more, or maybe did you always believe in God? Like, how did that relationship start for you?
Well, the more that I delve into this and go further back, I realized that there were things that were different about me
Mhm.
that I was aware of at an early age, in the sense that I was very much the observer of the world, and I paid attention, which I still do. And I was raised in a Catholic. That was the faith that my family, and I still, there are parts of it I really do still find very helpful, and um, as a place to go and be calm and meditate, and also great people who
Yeah.
want to make a difference in the world.
Yep.
Um, so I'm not all on board with some of the things that the church
Mhm.
has shown up for over history. But anyway, that coming from that faith, and that those layers that got added on over the years. And as we know, we are here and we sign up for what we're what we get in terms of our parents, family,
Mhm.
all the things that happen to us, and that um, things have happened at different times where I've kind of, I would call them kind of miracles, and things that I asked for came to be. We have twin daughters. I asked for them on our honeymoon, and it happened just like I asked. I have had other little things happen, like tickets are sold out at the show I want to go to, and somehow I get tickets in like the third row. So things, just little things like that. But more recently, I would have to say that a losing a long time job, being laid off of a long time job, and having to open myself up to the universe to ask for what's next. I have found that that has been very powerful, and has it brought me exactly what I needed next, including a job that I enjoy now, that gives me a lot of flexibility, and also more recently, actually, I'm involved in a group of women that we're doing some work together in a circle. So, and feeling what, and getting more in touch with and more knowledgeable about the divine feminine. So anyway, but the last 5 years have been I've been more focused, and even the last 3 years, uh, I'm still waiting for some sort of lightning bolt, some sort of, you know, big
Yeah.
thing that
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
But then I think, well, maybe it's not going to happen that way. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just like many things. It's much
Yeah.
more subtle, and I
Yeah.
do have faith and know that things happen as they're meant to happen, and they unfold, and we cannot force it.
Yeah.
We have to just
Yeah.
go along with what's the schedule, divine scheduling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to answer your question, really more intensely in the last 3 years, and just before COVID, I actually, I believe might know Ann Tucker and
Yeah.
her Wisdom Soup. So that was kind of a catalyst, getting involved with her, and I've just been so blown away by many people around here who have gone from 0 to 60
Yeah.
in terms of revealing and coming into their gifts and sharing them with other people. You being one of those people
Yeah.
too. Here
Yeah.
you are live on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's not where you started,
No.
and things are just like you know
Yeah.
going snowballing in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah.
And because we are what we're doing is so needed in the world,
100%.
and that having the and having more around us who are on the same page makes it so much easier and more effective.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I kind of was a roundabout way to answer your question, but
Beautiful. Yeah.
yeah.
I love learning about people. It's like, it's interesting that you bring up, the community with Michael and your women's group, because just yesterday I was ordering some dog food from Chewy.com
Yes,
so on the phone.
Chewy, yes,
I love
yes,
Chewy that you always get a human, right?
yes.
Within like a few
Mhm,
rings. It's not
mhm,
automated. And I'm talking with this woman, and this just happens sometimes. I just get information that comes through, and so we
yes,
finished the order, and I said, "Hey, I have some information to share with you from your spirit team if you're open to it." And she's like, "I don't even know what a spirit team is,"
yeah,
but yeah, I'm open. And I started sharing with her the information coming through, and all of a sudden, how did she say it? She's like, "I've been having those thoughts you were talking about for a few years now, but I've had no one to talk to about them." And I remember that feeling. I
yes,
remember wanting to shout from the rooftops that God existed and that you're special, and that, like all the world is a stage and anything is possible. But I felt almost like a leper. I felt crazy. I'm going to use air
yeah,
quotes, crazy.
mhm.
Um, and so, how if you were to meet somebody like that, um, how would you encourage them along in this journey, and the fact that, maybe the people that they're talking to aren't receptive to what they're sharing, or maybe there's just some fear in general to share what's going on.
Well, it's in my I guess I'll say my professional life. I'm in the I've been in the hospitality industry for many years, and was a concierge at a hotel, and so I have in as I move through life now, which I'm not doing that actively, but I've known from the beginning that I'm somebody who can help people get to where they're going. So I tend to um, meet and collect, I'll say collect
Yeah.
people in
Yep.
the sense of knowing, and if I were to encounter somebody, I would first of all be very friendly and open and even probably give them a hug.
Yeah.
But also to perhaps suggest some resources that they could look into, and also let them know that they are not alone. That's the biggest message, is they are not alone. Not only are there people around that they will be hopefully able to talk to, but like you say, their spirit team
Yeah.
is with them always, and that uh, and the way our world works now, it is all about making people feel alone so that other
Yeah.
people could, I'm going to say, take advantage of them,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because the way things are going, it's always about, it's dog eat dog, and that's not really helpful anymore. It's not helpful, it's not good, it's not the way the world needs to operate anymore.
Yeah.
And I would also talk if somebody was, just like you say, kind of randomly, and I would probably talk to them about their dreams, like, what are you dreaming, and just
Yeah.
get a sense of, because that I've found that that's a very um, non-threatening
Yeah.
door
Yeah.
into talking about these matters.
Yeah.
Everybody dreams, whether you remember it or not. But and that's why, what Eschling does is very is expanding, is very now, because I met so many great people through that, and I continue,
Yeah.
and sometimes it's funny because I'm somebody who remembers people,
Hmm.
and even if I've only met them once, I may not remember your name, but I remember, I know I can remember everything about us meeting. And so it's, I just so enjoy being a part of that community. So,
Do you know why it is that you remember people, like your memory is so strong?
um, you know, I don't, I'm not sure, but you know what I think it is? It's, I just got a hit that it's because when I was younger, I didn't always feel somehow like I was seen or heard
Yeah.
or allowed
Hmm.
to express myself as
Yeah.
I wished.
Yeah. Yeah.
Many growing up in the 60s, even though it was, you know, 60s, but it was still in you know, our you know, our ancestrally we learned how to, you know, work in the world so that we wouldn't stick out and think people think we were strange.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's
Our kids,
probably why.
yeah.
I
Oh,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
Well, just that also that I'm, you know, I'm not sure how many people know, but if you dream about being in a hotel, that's about your birth. A lot of my dreams are set in hotels or in hotel lobbies, and I worked for many, you know, over 30 years in that environment, and
Yeah.
firmly believe that I wanted people to feel welcome. I
Mhm.
want people to feel welcome. I want them to feel and do what I can to um, you know, make them have a great time.
Yeah.
In a sense, give them a great time or help them create a great time or some sort of meaningful experience. I mean, that's what I did as a concierge. So I have a feeling that somehow that's involved with what I'm doing, although I don't know exactly what I'm doing. So
Yeah.
I'm just I'm just paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah. None of us really do. That's what,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
when I the restaurant that I work at, people come and celebrate their anniversaries or birthdays a
Hmm.
lot. It's a little bit more
Hmm.
spent steakhouse, and especially if I get younger ones like 18 or 16, I'm like, nobody knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
Don't let
yeah,
them fool you. Don't let us
yes,
fool you that you have
yes.
to have this figured out and that you don't make mistakes and that you just have this very straight line of a life. It's like, go get as many name tags as possible. Try
Yeah,
out as many
yeah.
things as possible until you find the one that you really love. Yeah, 100%. Okay, well, let's see here. I think we'll jump into this, and it
Sure.
will be a good segue because um, part of the information that was coming through associated to, well, they just want to start out by just they're doubling down on the things that make you special, that are like unique to the way that you're hardwired,
Hmm.
and something else. You're just a really great listener, which is like
Yeah.
a skill set that um and it's not only that you're just listening, but you're like actively hearing, right? Like there's multiple steps to communication, and just listening alone, it's you hear the people. um you definitely are psychic. Even in the way that you talk, I can tell when you're like accessing your channel. I don't know if you feel that at all.
No.
Okay, like a lot of what you spoke today was channeled, and I can just
Oh,
feel it's almost because it feels good, and it's
it
like you're
just
just
comes. I don't even. Well, maybe because I'm not even thinking of what I'm saying.
yeah,
It's just saying. I can.
coming
So
exactly.
that's great, and that's. I'm laughing because that's the way it's always been, but I never realized it. So
Yeah, so
there you
that's your
go.
channeling, and it's almost
Uh-huh.
like Annie's left the building. Almost like it's almost there's a warmth that comes through, and it's like it's hard else to describe. I can see it so clearly now in people. I'm like, oh, that person's channeling it. It's like you're going somewhere to access this information. So you definitely are a channel. You definitely planned a spiritual life. Like not everybody is their soul's expression. The primary purpose of that life. But yeah, it isn't ironic that you do work at a hotel, that you're like the welcome wagon, that it's
Mhm.
like you're a resource of God on earth. That's the best way to describe. And,
Wow. Okay.
and yeah, no matter where you are, whether it's a Starbucks line, whether again wherever you are a resource. And I don't know if you identify with the word light worker, but again, it's just a resource of the universe in that moment to be light, to be gracious, to be compassionate, to share your spiritual leadership. Again, whatever that is, it's definitely a spiritual leadership gift though, because it's like part of your purpose. I get you're a parent, I get you're a friend, and you're a
Mm-hmm.
daughter. There's all these, I guess you could say, titles, but
Mm-hmm.
um, the I'd say a large aspect is showing people how to live, showing what an open heart feels like. What does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
Something happens, and how does someone who's compassionate respond to someone who's not compassionate? How is someone able to transmute that interaction that could have gone like a bomb, but actually ended up being a really, positive outcome, and both parties
Mm-hmm.
felt heard and seen, and then there was resolution and there was a plan to move forward. um, Another aspect of your personality, which people learn from, is there's a humility to you. Like, you're not too, how would I say this? um,
I do not want to be in the limelight too
Well, and
much. Yes.
it's the like some people struggle
Yeah.
to apologize, and you have no
Yeah.
problem apologizing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like when
That would be
something
true.
happens,
Yeah.
and that's like a really um that's an aspect of the ego, right? Like the
Yeah.
ego doesn't want to be
Yeah.
wrong, and it's always seeking
Yeah.
to establish itself, but not every so that's another aspect of being able to take ownership of something, even if it wasn't your something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it just impacted somebody poorly, and you don't ever want to have that happen. And so that's another way in which another aspect of your personality that you've healed, that's balanced, the karma's balanced, and so you're able to essentially show up like, kind of like how Yeshua did. And he would go around to these different towns, and he would just meet people and talk to people and show them how to live this beautiful, how to play the game of life. Um, but it didn't come, what the Spirit's just wanting to remind you is that, and I don't know how you would describe your childhood. I don't know how you would describe your parents, but they're saying that when you see someone who consists of so much light, they had to have experienced darkness. There had to have been dark moments. There had to have been moments of healing. There had to have been moments of, again, the brighter the light, the darker it was at one point in time. And so
Absolutely. I
there
would
were,
say that I had those. Yeah. Yes.
yeah, yeah. And so,
It wasn't
um,
easy.
and I'm
And
curious. Oh, please go ahead.
yeah, no, just I and I, I've done a lot of I've done a lot of what I'll call inner work, especially, on my first Saturn return around 30ish.
Yeah,
And as a result of that, I know that what I was able to clear helped me be a better parent to my kids,
yeah,
because they are like beyond. Um, and I mean, I just,
yeah,
I was the vessel for
yeah,
them to come through.
yeah,
But the anyway, I feel like I've had many lives in this time,
yeah,
and
yeah,
not all of them were positive, and that so I do have a certain amount of awareness
yeah,
of some of the things that people can do to people.
yeah.
And so as a result of that, that one thing was I was very protective of my children,
Yeah,
always. And I'm the mama bear, wherever you are, I will come get you. I even actually did that once, not for them, but for a friend of theirs, like driving out into, going to collect them at a party type of thing. And so,
yeah, yeah,
anyway.
yeah. So that, just know that part. What people may forget is that they meet this person who is light and
Mhm.
easy to imbibe with, and there can be this assumption around their life. They must not have had a hard life, but it's like the more round the edges, the harder the life that someone's experienced.
Mhm.
Because I'm sure that you have met in your lifetime people that never decided to never heal that aspect of themselves,
Yes.
and those
Yes.
coping mechanisms or those reactions are so powerful and just sad a lot of the times.
And somewhat incomprehensible to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And but also, it does pull on one's heart to because they're very difficult to reach.
Yeah, I know. Well, you
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing. We can't force anybody, and you
Yeah.
know that, to do
Yes.
anything. Again, we can
Yes.
show, we can say
Yeah.
like, "Hey, this is the light. I've got the
Yeah.
flashlight.
Yeah.
This is the way
Yeah.
the path." But do you want to come? No. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Then
Yeah. Yeah.
maybe I'll see you again. Maybe I
Yeah.
won't. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
That is that has recently been one of my what I've learned is that I'm not responsible for anyone else's pathway, journey, choices.
yeah, yeah,
I'm just it's just me. So,
yeah, yeah. Did
and
something happen that created that awareness for you, or were you able to observe it in another person and going like, "I'm doing that," or how did
well,
that?
somebody that I'm in the circle with actually shared that with me,
Mm,
and so brought it to my waking awareness so
yeah,
that I could then I tend to think about things a lot,
yeah,
but I was able to just kind of more embody
yeah,
that feeling of that I'm at a place in my life where I can let that go.
yeah,
My kids are older, my things are you know are such that I have more space to open up to other things.
mhm, yeah, yeah. And we're not responsible
Yeah.
for anyone. And I think that's definitely, for me, it was part of being a woman, a female,
Yes.
especially raised by my, I grew up in a small town in Eastern Washington. Like the population was maybe 5,000 growing up. My parents graduated from high school there. It's like everybody knew everybody. And
Mhm.
um, they're, yeah.
My dad's from a place like that in
I
Eastern
was told
Washington.
along around like that your job is to like kind of prepare the food, and
Yeah.
again, that kind of stuff does get me excited too. I love cooking for people. There's definitely
Hmm.
aspects of that female role, but you get to decide whatever you want your life to look like. So
Hmm.
um, something else that they're taking me to now, which is really beautiful, is that sometimes when I meet with folks, and I can totally understand this, but there can be a heightened concern around their purpose. Am I doing my purpose? Am I living my purpose? What's my purpose? Where should I be going? And how Spirit's describing it is that you've come to a place of peace and knowing
Hmm.
whatever you're doing in the moment is your purpose.
Yes, that is absolutely true, and that is a very recent uh,
Mm,
coming to know that.
yeah.
Yes,
How did
let's just say I have faith. I have faith that whatever is coming is what I'm supposed to be doing, and that has come from my involvement with this group of women.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it.
And
Isn't that so freeing?
yes, and it, and maybe it's also it has something to do with the fact that I know that they're there for me and I am there for them, and we are all in this together, and we all know that.
Yeah,
So uh, I wasn't even sure I was going to join this group, and because it was all very random, and the invitation was I kind of I said, "Hey," and there wasn't space at the
yeah. Okay.
time, and I said, "Well, if it opens up, I'll do it."
Yeah,
And then it of course it did, and I cannot imagine not being a part of it.
yeah,
And so and I know that we are all here to do something good for the world,
yeah,
and we don't know what it is quite yet, but
yeah,
we will we're ready. And I'm pretty sure that this is happening all over the world. We just are not there's no way necessarily to connect everybody yet,
yeah,
in the sense of that everybody's aware of
yeah,
who and where everybody is. It's kind of a more gradual thing. I mean, we have a lot of technology these
yeah,
days, but
yeah,
but it's
yeah,
not quite
yeah.
it's not quite there yet.
Yeah. It's like if I'm understanding, it's I've heard stories about, like, let's even just take Nikola Tesla, who's like
Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Electricity, that when he was doing his work, there were many other people doing the same kind of work.
Yeah.
That if something needs to be created, Spirit will work with hundreds of people that need
Yes.
to be working on this specific invention. And I don't doubt that these collectives of people are being created all over the world. I don't, there's, it would be impossible not to think that. to me personally. And so many people are waking up, like, and it doesn't need to be that they're having this like divine, spiritual
Yeah.
awakening, but it could be that they're being kinder to others, or it
Yes.
could be that they're not as fixated on image, or again, what it could show up in so many different ways. Awareness or consciousness can, but it's a global phenomenon for sure.
Yes.
That
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know,
Thank you.
right? I feel
Yeah.
so blessed to be alive at this point in
I
time.
know. I know.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Let's see here. They're bringing up, do you have any questions specifically regarding your kids? Is there anything going on with either of them that you would like some? I'm getting like a question maybe on one of them, but maybe
Well, I recently, I mean, one is getting married. So if there's anything around how best I can support her,
okay.
in on that, she's been pretty much doing everything, and I
Yep.
respect, she's creating what she wants, her
Yep.
vision and everything.
Yep.
And then her identical twin sister has also gotten engaged. So that's also, it's just going to be a big year.
Oh my goodness. Are you a grandmother yet?
No,
Okay.
but that's, yeah, I have been, and I know that the work I'm doing now is preparing me for that.
Yeah.
And that prior to them getting engaged, I didn't really think about it too much. I'm not somebody who thinks about things.
Yeah.
I have enough to think about on a daily basis. So
Yeah.
I'm not, excited about the trip till I'm on the plane type of
Okay.
person.
Yeah.
But I am so excited about this possibility of being there for future children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's so cool. Well, the first thing, one question before I get into it, is the one that just got engaged the younger of the two?
She is not. She is the older by
Okay.
only 50 seconds.
50. Okay. Would you say, okay, so this is kind of the energy that's coming through. And I want to make sure that I'm reading this. So how spirit's talking about the two of them is just making sure to remain keeping their identities as unique as they are. So I don't know if there's one that maybe feels like less celebrated than another. I don't know if that's possible, but just making sure as you're going through, whether it's through the wedding reception or planning the other wedding, is that it's kind of like when you have young children. Maybe this is for all children, but it's like, and you plan like one day a week is mommy and me time. Just making sure that you're continuing to create experiences that are singular in the fact that it's not the three of you necessarily, but it's one of the twins in you.
Thank you. That's a very good suggestion. Yes.
Yeah. And then the other thing that I get for the one that's getting married, and I can see how this might be uncomfortable for her to ask, because this might be weird for my parents too, is just money.
Yeah.
Financially, if there's any financial support, that's what I'm getting. That she may feel awkward to ask for that. Because this is what I'm getting, is that you've already helped out so much. How can I possibly, be asking for more? But weddings are expensive.
Believe me. Oh yeah. Believe me. If we currently had the resources, things are such that they're a little bit uncertain. Let's just say that. So I am one of the things that I am planning to manifest in my manifesting journal, more abundance. In that book that you suggested, the power, that money power. Yes. Yeah. I'm planning to get that book and take a look at that. So
it's such a great resource. And they have they offer some courses too. Like I noticed on their website, and they're just up here in Arlington.
Oh, okay. Not too far away.
Yeah. Like they do evening abundance get-togethers where you just make a donation, and they help walk you through how to attract money, essentially.
Okay.
So it's like one-on-one work if you're interested.
Yes. Thank you.
So I know. Okay. So where do we want to go here? Is there anything else? Do you have son? Oh, please go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were going to ask something.
Do you have a son as well, or no?
No, I have a third daughter she's right here at the table with me.
Oh, is that right?
And she's visiting from college.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she's in college right now.
Okay. Well, I have a message for her if she's open to hearing it. And she doesn't even have to come around. She can just listen. Yeah.
Adela? I can undo this.
Oh
Here,
no,
let me.
that's okay. You could
Okay,
just not
I'll
a
just
super.
share them. I'll share the video after.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know what she's going to school for currently, but just like I said earlier, she doesn't have to have everything figured out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah.
because
She loves what she's doing.
is that right? Okay,
Civil,
yeah,
yeah, she's in civil engineering.
right. But there might be
Okay.
certain
Oh,
like
something else. Yeah.
no, it's well,
Okay.
and I ironically enough, when I worked in staffing, I worked in civil engineering.
Oh,
But there's like transportation, there's water
yeah.
resources,
Yeah.
there's land development. So, and within a firm, there could be multitude of other disciplines, and so they're just wanting her to be playful with it.
Yeah. Yes.
That's all. Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
I
Um,
will tell her.
I think civil engineering is one of the coolest, like,
Yeah.
skill
Yes.
sets. Like,
She
true,
loves it. Yes.
it's amazing. Like, just all of these things that we take for granted on a day to day basis. You know?
Yes. Oh, and she's opened our eyes to, like, we'll be driving down the highway and she'll be going, oh, and I go, wow, okay, I had no idea
Right?
about
You're
that
just right.
bridge. Yeah.
Exactly. And that
Or
there's a
that or that concrete.
yes, yes,
Yes,
yes. Oh no, that's asphalt. It's different. Or
yes.
is that
Yes.
okay, cool. Okay, you were
Is there
gonna ask
any, well, just that the only thing that I have been getting messages or toying with the idea of one way for me to share my gifts, and I have a feeling that I at some point will be writing a book, and I'm not sure if I write the book and that becomes some sort of I really enjoy talking to people like this,
Yep, yep,
and
yep,
also highlighting people's kind of being a almost like a talk show host.
yep,
That's
yep. Yes,
and
100%.
so that I so I'm that I've gotten that message, and I have, but I'm not really sure where would be the best place to start, or what comes, it's the chicken or the egg. So
Yep.
I have a feeling that maybe I write and then it becomes, some of the things I write about then become the subject for, because I want to ask questions, I want to see what people are thinking, um and my kind of title, or what I want to call it, is what the world needs now.
Mhm.
So if there's any messages around that, that would be helpful, or to just get a little more
Yeah,
illumination
yeah.
from.
They love that for you. This is something that April Angel shared with me, and it resonated so deeply. And it talked. We were talking about the balance of masculine and feminine energy,
Yes, yes,
and the feminine energy is like that intuitive hit, that guidance, and then the masculine energy is the part of you that goes out and executes it, and the part of
yes,
you that goes out and creates it. And so that's the part of you that knows that I have that if that I can't fail, that knows that there are going to be people that want to be a part of this. And so where they're saying that they're getting a little caught up is just know if you build it, they will come. I had literally a year ago not but one subscriber on YouTube, just one.
hmm,
And I may be at 50 now, which some people would be like, that's only 50 people. That's
yeah,
like the world to me. And
yeah.
so just know that whatever you
I'm
create,
one of them. Yes,
yeah,
yeah,
is
yeah.
that they will come. And because I'm getting that so I see you doing them in tandem. I see you working on the book at the same
Okay,
time as you, because this is what they're saying already. You could create this
okay,
platform now. Like
okay.
I'll even volunteer. I'd love to go on your TV show, um,
Uh-huh.
and so you could create that now. And that I do get that you would have different even specialists within spirituality that you're being guided to, that you're being curious about, and that ultimately it will activate these invisible strings that connect us to all. Because yes, there is a uniqueness in your charm. Let's put it that way. And so they would like you to do both of those things. I see the talk show, the live video, however you want to do it.
I have
Be
no idea, like, for this, in terms of how
well,
that
just
works, but I just,
get curious. Like
yeah,
go make a YouTube
yeah,
account. Yeah, like just whatever feels joyful,
yeah,
right? That's going to be the
yeah,
barometer. If you
okay,
start doing something towards this talk show and it doesn't feel good, Maybe we
Yeah.
got to step back for a minute. But it should lead you to, like, each step should be one that's of joy.
Yes.
Um, and even in like the sense of like downloading the free version of Canva and start creating some different, like, thumbnails that would go, oh, I'm gonna sneeze here.
Yeah. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Mhm.
So like they want you to run with that talk show idea, like start it ASAP. Like literally with your journal, you could do the manifestation journal. Like, what is it called? What does it look like? Where am I doing it from? Am I like, there's a new aspect of this that I want to add where I'm going to be like going live, but like go on a drive or go for a walk, and I'm going to do live readings. It's just something that's come through. So whatever, allow it to unfold however you want it to, and what would get you excited. Literally today, you could sit down this afternoon and say, like, how often do I want to meet with people? What kind of people do I, again, that's like that's the fun part for me, especially if it's along your life's purpose. Like, you're going to have so much energy. It's like, you don't even need to sleep. It's kind of it feels a little manic a little bit. The book wise though, what I do, some more information I'm getting, and I don't know if you've ever, I see somehow it targeting kids, like little kids. So I don't know how you connect with little kids, or no, let's take that back. They didn't like the way that I was so specific. Your gifts are for everyone. Sometimes your gifts are just for somebody who is, further along in their spiritual, relationship, but yours are for everybody. But I do see little kids. So I don't know, maybe it's about being a parent. And no, they don't like that either. I just see children. I don't know why. I'm not giving me specifics, but I see children.
I did have a dream years ago, and I mean, I saw a whole story, and I did write it down. I have to find it somewhere, but it's about a journey, about like, it could be about a soul journey. I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay.
But that's always been kind of hanging out in my mind. But I didn't have, but I thought that I needed, I thought that I wouldn't be able to do the illustrations for it of what I saw. And so, but now I'm like, oh, I'll just, that might be fun, or it might just be fun.
Right? Isn't that so cool? Yeah. Like, we buy, like, for myself, and not everything needs to be a capitalistic rooted thing, but it's like, I'll suddenly clumsy over this book I bought 2 years ago, and I'm like, oh, now I can use you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those things, they circle in our lives and they come back in. So
in mine, it's things that I've had for over 30 years are still, and I can't remember if it was you that told me, or my guides through you told me to go read the books on my bookshelf, but I started that. Yeah. I started that, and it's been very, very helpful and very enlightening. And those are things that I collected that have sat on that shelf for 30 years in one place, but now it's ready to. One of them I wanted to share here is this book here. Okay. Called, let me just get it right here. It's called Awareness, and it's by Anthony DeMello. Okay. The Perils and Opportunities of Reality. So,
ooh, what is it about?
This is your wake-up call. Okay. You may not have even have realized you were sleepwalking. Yeah. Most of us are most of the time. Yeah. Awareness is an eye-opener. Yeah. It's Anthony DeMello telling you gently but firmly, it's time to get up now. So the heart of his best-selling spiritual message is awareness. Yeah. Mixing Christian spirituality, Buddhist parables, Hindu breathing exercises, and psychological insight, DeMello's words of hope come together in awareness in a grand synthesis. In short chapters for reading in quiet moments at home or at the office, he cajoles and challenges. We must leave this go, go, go world of illusion and become aware. And this only happens, he insists, by becoming alive to the needs and potential of others, whether at home or in the workplace. So, and he passed away, and this is very, so it's
I
That's
love
just me.
you're just okay. I get that it doesn't read as purple or like your shirt isn't, but you are just like a vision of violet. And everything. It's like so. It's just so fitting. Thank you for sharing that. I'm always looking for new books. Like books have helped me so much in my journey. Again, maybe not even feeling alone, right? That there's somebody else out there. Um, so I love that. Thank you. I love the imagery of that book as well. Um, all right. Well, we're at like, if you can
Yeah,
believe it, we're at 45 minutes. That's how quickly this
we could
goes.
talk all day. Yes.
No, like that's yeah, beautiful. But just to finish out on specifically on your talk show, um, or your
Or
book,
whatever podcast or what, I don't even know what it is, but whatever. Yeah.
but is like we chatted about, get that journal and just
Hmm.
start daydreaming this afternoon.
Uh-huh.
And when you get that inspired thought, like again, I'm gonna go create a YouTube channel. Like you don't have to do anything with it, but then maybe
Yeah.
there's another voice that says, well, you're not gonna do anything with it. Why do it now? Just go
Yeah.
create it.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to follow, like act as if it's already done. Um, and they want you to know just to dream big associated to it.
Hmm.
But if you have an idea that you're going to reach millions of people, that's not too lofty of a goal. If that's what's coming through to you, honor that. And so put that into the manifestation, is that I'm going to help millions of people. I help millions of people. Millions of people are attracted to me. I am a vessel of love. I am a vessel of God. Again, whatever that is,
Hmm.
it'll activate another's DNA, the connection to you. Yeah. And I see book-wise, I see them like as chapter books almost. So I don't know if they would be like connected to one, like a 4 book series. So what I'm getting to is I see them as smaller.
Hmm.
I don't want to say quicker. I've never written one book.
Easily digestible.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why I get images of the kids, is that it's like, have you ever read The Four Agreements?
I'm
Um,
familiar with what it is. I have that book.
it's such an easy read, and
Hmm.
like you could read it in an afternoon, but it's like one of the most poignant books I've ever read of my life. That's how I'm getting your writing is going to be. It's like
Hmm.
palatable and digestible for all, and it's these beautiful concepts or beautiful sharing of story, beautiful sharing of your soul, but that resonate with all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So wonderful.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
well, thank you. This has been so lovely to see you, chat with you in live, live, and I'm a big fan. So
Yeah,
I look forward to seeing what you are doing next, and we'll be in touch. And
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
so lovely. Thank you for everything, and especially your New Year's message. Go
Yeah,
look at it,
yeah.
everybody that might watch this.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's been just delightful to be here today with you. And thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're so welcome. All right.
And if
Happy
I
to.
was with you, I would give you a big hug,
I
just
know.
so you
I would
know.
too.
Yes.
I receive it
Yes.
anyway. So,
Yes.
yeah. Cool. All right. We'll see you
All
later.
right. Bye. Thank you.